start maybe from the biggest thing. It was already announced during the previous meeting, 2 a.m. EST. So I'll keep it short.
Who's this son of a bitch?
It's the DA's
Clay.
office.
That's the
Oh.
ADA.
Oh, okay.
We currently have actually two people looking at Coop's Law. The first one was announced during the 2 a.m. EST meeting. That was Mr. Jean Paul. The second person is Mike Block. Now, both of them were attempted to murder multiple officers in a short period of time, so multiple incidents in the last 30 days. All of them have also committed multiple other heinous offenses. So we're basically cracking down on that, and the exact procedures, since there was a bit confusion during the previous meeting in regards to procedure after they are apprehended again. It will be forwarded to the members of High Command and Command. The guide was made by me and DA Green, so that will make it clear. But basically, if either Jean Paul or Mike Block are apprehended for attempting to murder any officers, 1, 2 more counts, doesn't really matter, then they should not be fined, they should not be sent to jail, the charges should not be put on their record, they should be basically, the report should be made, the DA's office should be notified, and there's actually one exception to that. If, for example, they did something very heinous, for example, they shot multiple cops or in general were very, let's say, destructive and violent, it is possible to ask judges whether they can be held on trial for the time being until the case is put on the docket. However, if the judges refuse, then they should be just let out on the street again. The further procedures in regards to if they are caught again when they're waiting for the trial, that will be in the guide I prepared with DA Green. That will be forwarded to the members of High Command and Command.
Yo, Dovey, thank you so much for the gift sub.
Where can we find these guides?
The guidelines will be, as I said, after this meeting will be forwarded to the members of High Command and Command, and from them it should be forwarded to pretty much all the officers.
I have a question, Mr. Doe. So are these individuals, if they engage in violent acts against officers, and exclusively officers, they're getting held indefinitely?
No, not really. Basically, they basically have a pattern. As I mentioned, in the last 30 days, they've attempted to murder multiple officers. They attempted to murder multiple other people. And they just in general show that they have basically no way of stopping. So basically they will just keep doing that over and over again. So we in the office decided that it's time to put a stop to that, or at least show that there is a punishment for that. And if they are caught, if it, for example, was only them shooting, let's say, one officer, or something that you or any of the officers feel like is not really like extra violent or extra heinous. I know that attempting to murder an officer is usually just heinous in general, but I'm talking just in general terms.
What's up, dude?
Then they should be just let out, as I said, without fining, without putting them to jail, without putting charges on the record, so process box should not be checked. If they do something heinous or violent, and you think that they might go on a rampage again while they're waiting for a trial, then judges can be asked whether they can be put basically to jail for the time being until the case. The rest, all the, let's say, details regarding that will be in the guide I mentioned before. Since there's a lot of, let's say, small things connected to that will just take a lot of time to explain, and it will be easier to kind of have everyone just look at it by themselves.
All right, so we're filing the incidences, but we're not sending them to jail.
Basically, these two people, Mike Block, Jean Paul, if they are caught with, if they attempt to murder an officer the next time, from now on, then they shouldn't be fined. They should not be sent in jail unless it was something heinous, and judges agree to send them to jail on a hold, and the report should be made, but the charges shouldn't be put on the record. So basically the explanation, a very short explanation, these charges, we are not pressing them on at that very moment.
Lushino,
since
thanks
these
for the
charges
21
will be
months
the
of
main
Prime.
arguments in the criminal case. This will be, let's say, the thing we'll be contesting, the charges, and the rest of the incidents will be used as arguments for why we're pushing Coop's law. That's the best explanation I can give. Did that make sense?
Does anybody have any questions for ADA John Doe?
Yes.
I do,
Yeah.
but I feel like a lot of it will be answered in the guide.
Okay.
So
So just to reiterate, just just other verbiage. We catch him. He's caught for a shooting. We don't click process. We don't fine or jail him. We just let him go. Seize all his weapons. I'm assuming throw it in the evidence on the report, and then further on, when it gets pushed to the DA and the judges, they will decide if they want to push on Coop's law.
isn't that what they
well,
already
basic-
decided? Isn't that why we're
Yeah,
here in
but
the
is it
first place?
only
Yeah,
Yeah, why are
like
we-
cop shooting? Is it any shooting or just cop shooting?
We are basically looking at attempting to murder cops, so attempted murder of government employee.
I have a question. Why are we cutting him loose?
Well, basically, if they are sent to jail, that means that the processed box was checked, so they basically were.
Oh,
No
double
process.
jeopardy is what you're about to tell me.
Yes,
It can't be used evidence,
exactly.
basically.
Sorry,
Okay, that's strange, but that's fine.
could we not put them in on an investigative hold?
It won't be an It won't. Can we actually put them on an investigative hold?
Smokey, thanks for
Well,
the
Right,
that's
brand new
what
only
you're
Prime.
asking?
24 hours.
No, 24 to 72.
Oh, okay.
It's
okay.
until judge approval, right?
It's 24. So when we put him on, it's 24, and then I think the Constitution states. I was reading this the other day with Wrangler. Anything above 24 hours has to be approved by a judge.
Given the
Me,
context,
Tracy,
shouldn't
I
you
read
also
this
wanna
the other day. That's how.
hold him in
That's how I know. Me, Tracy.
Okay.
Okay.
Tracy.
Okay.
You cave woman.
Right.
Yeah. So basically, when it comes to the hold, investigative hold, the ones that are not really approved by the judges themselves, so not really a held and trial one, that one specific type I mentioned. Basically, we just want to avoid the situation, since it's a lot of incidents, a lot of paperwork, a lot of things to add, a lot of witnesses. We want to avoid the situation where they are cut loose from that hold, and then they are, let's say, extra agitated.
little
and,
confused, but-
you know, they basically will be more likely to go on a rampage after they're released. And we just want to avoid that. As I said, majority of these things will be explained in the guide. I understand it's very complicated and very odd, very different from the normal processing of the criminals, but unfortunately we just have to deal with
Was
it.
the
for
guide
now.
approved by any judge in particular, or all the judges as a collective, or is this just being pushed by the district attorney's office?
The judges were asked before, and from what they said and what they approved, the guide was compiled. The DA Green basically looked over it. She made a few changes, and the guide was made. So it's basically a collective effort of pretty much everyone in DOJ, maybe excluding the attorneys.
They're gonna know something's up the second we let them go, though. They just shot a cop and we just let them go.
Yeah, they're gonna. That's
I
gonna be
understand.
a big red flag. I mean,
Yeah.
if we do that, if there's any raids or anything, shit's gonna be moved almost immediately. This isn't. It doesn't take really much to put two and two together on that, Mr. Doe. If we let them go for shooting somebody, that something's major is up.
They
Yeah,
have to be
so-
held and then pushed from there, right? Like you guys would have to get your eggs in the basket done within 24
Yeah.
hours, and then right from there.
'Cause
Yeah, but
otherwise
we're-
we would be letting them go after train to murder cops, right?
And they might
Is that
do
what-
it again.
what we're gonna hold him for? Yeah, like if we let him go, what's to say he's not gonna run back to the apartment, grab a gun, come back and shoot the cops? Just let him go after he just shot cops.
Well then, if they do that again, and again it will be answered in a guide, but I will explain it shortly. If they do that again, they should be processed normally, so the usual time, fine, sent to jail, and then if they continue to do that, it will be used as further arguments for possible second case. So if that pattern of behavior continues, it will be their fault.
Well,
And
I'm sorry. I don't mean to I'm sure this will be answered in the guide, but this really doesn't make any sense because I thought you're coming here to tell us that they are under Coop's law currently. So what is this? If they do it again after they do it again thing? It's weird.
He's building more evidence to push Coop's law, is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
So it's not Coop's law yet, but one more time it is.
So basically, what he's saying is every charge he's already had for attempted murder of a government employee, he's already been charged for that. So he can't push Coop's law on that because that'd be double jeopardy, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So now he's going to keep doing it. So we have to gather more evidence of him doing it, not charge him, so that we can charge him all in one big case.
So if we catch him, why don't we just put him in holding until the D's office figures it out?
Because we need more incidents.
Yeah,
So
you
every
can't
incident in the
use
past
past
couple
incidents.
weeks, we can't use. We have to wait for him to do it a couple more times, and just let him go.
Which
yeah,
one's not
but-
enough?
No,
We're
not
just to
no,
kind of clarify
apparently
again.
not.
One is actually enough. We just need one to push the criminal case.
There you go. just hold it
basically-
now after.
Yeah, I mean, we just get him the one time, and then we just. And all right, look. So you
And
guys, if you guys
Then
want
the
us to
criminal
do it
case
like
on the
this,
docket, yeah.
I don't know how I feel about saying, hey, let's let officers let a guy go who's shooting officers, and then like, hey, let's just let him go again so we can shoot officers. I don't really feel like letting my people be pawns for this. I don't really feel like letting my deputies and lesser officers be pawns for some type of court case. I don't really know how I feel about this, Mr. Doe, if I'm being honest with you. I mean, aren't the stipulations for Coop's law based on established pattern already by their behavior? It's a behavioral pattern that leads to a fucking case. Does it really matter if they've already been charged when it's taking their collective
Yeah.
pattern into account?
So if he's
Yeah,
murdered,
unfortunately,
if he
yes.
attempted to murder 15 cops, and we're like, okay, we've had enough of this. If you catch him again, we're gonna be pushing Coop's law on him. If you catch him again doing this, so we catch him again, but then it's like, nope, wait, let him go. He needs to do it at least one more time. Then we can it's just weird.
Like,
Wouldn't one
so-
just be enough, and then we put him in?
Does this come from the
Why-
DOJ? I'm not usually one to say this kind of shit, but I feel like the DOJ is complicating this whole thing pretty immensely. Like, if they want to push Coop's law, or the district attorney's office wants to push Coop's law on someone, we already have an established pattern, past cases. This doesn't suffice because of double jeopardy.
To kind of make it, unfortunately, it is complicated like that because the Coop's law in general is a very old, let's say, an old thing.
It
has not
sounds like the
been
Department of
used
Justice wants to get us
in-
killed just for their fucking case, if I'm being honest with you.
It's not really like that. Basically, after one case, there's a very high chance of it being more, let's say, up to date. Because it's basically, right now we're pushing it for the first time in a very, very long time. And it just, unfortunately, the problems we face right now, they're just here because of, we're pushing it for the first time in a very long time. So
Has it been updated?
Unfortunately, it won't be updated until a court case.
Doesn't Coop's law work like the 3-strike rule, where it doesn't matter if you've been charged with it before, you can do it anyway as a brand new charge?
There's
sure that's the
no-
way it works.
Right? It's
There's-
Yo, Dubstep
exactly.
Aurora, thanks for the brand new tier
There's
1.
actually no specific, let's say, number of incidents needed. It's just multiple continuous, heinous, organized, capital level crimes. That's the definition. In a short period of time, too.
To make this simple, I suggest if we catch Mike Block or Jean Paul trying to kill another officer, we don't charge them, but we just send them in to fucking Bolingbrook and then tell the DOJ, hey, we got this motherfucker. Do what you guys got to do. Like he did it again. That's it. It'd be that simple, right? Or am I?
That's what
Am
I
I,
would think.
am I not right?
I mean, investigative hold is like that pending like status, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
but it's not an investigative hold. It's something completely different because this has been passed down from the district attorney's office. This is a very special thing, so it shouldn't fall under any of those.
I refuse to let my deputies be pawns in the DA's game to secure a courtroom victory there, Mr. Doe, if I'm going to be honest with you.
That's my sheriff.
Down with the system!
And
So, Mr.
I,
Doe,
Rage
yeah,
against
yeah.
the machine!
so With regards to you requiring a judge's approval, I take it you've talked to the DOJ already.
Yes.
The judges. Okay. Well, how long do you think the approval is going to be for for you to be able to push that case once we have them in custody or once that incident occurs? Because if you can get that the day of, then we can absolutely just hold them pending those charges.
Yeah, so basically, again, to make it clear, all the procedure, all the, let's say, everything I explained in the case they are released is if the judges refuse to put them on a hold.
But why would they refuse? Sorry.
There's a small chance that they will do that, and that's why I'm explaining all of this, because the procedure, if they refuse to put them on hold, well, it's a... Yeah, it's pretty complicated, as you probably noticed already.
Yeah, that's fine. You still have the 24, right? And then those charges haven't been charged, so they're still there as well for another set. We have 30 days then for that, and then if they do it again, that's 2 stacks.
Well, I mean, the DA's
The
office.
hold is the smart thing to do, right?
Well, I think whatever the way DA's office wants to do it is the best because they're the one going to be going to court and pressing the charges. So
they're not going to be the ones taking the
Not
bullets,
dying for
though.
that.
I'm not sending my people
agree.
out there to get shot for a court case.
But that's.
But it's
that's
going to
the thing,
happen anyway, regardless
it's
if
gonna
it's a
happen
court case
anyway.
or not.
It's not like we're making him do it. He's just going to fucking do it.
Well, no,
We're
I
not
think it's very...
entrapping him, are we?
No, that's going to entice him to. If you let him go for shooting at a cop, he's going to go, oh, fuck it, I'll do it again then. Or I'll get away again, I'll do it again then. Fuck it. Like, why wouldn't he keep going?
Yeah, if
at
these
that point?
people
That's-
have an
that's
established
enthusiastic to do
pattern,
it.
if these people already have the established
encouraging.
pattern, they're just going to come back.
Well, okay, so if we let him go the one time, do we have to keep letting him go after that, or do you just need one time?
Oh, the DA just said
No,
after
one
that,
time.
it goes back to normal charges. So it happens once, you let him go once, he does it again, he goes back in.
Oh, okay, so I see what you're saying then, Sheriff. Yeah, that
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
why it's
that
late,
does
right?
seem like a little bit of a.
Yeah,
Just
so
hold
kind
them.
of to, if it's not really something that, with everything all of you said, if it's not something that you think it's appropriate, then go ahead with the investigative hold. Again, we basically did it. We basically compiled the guide and all of that with just the DOJ, members of DA's office, judges, basically without the PD perspective in mind, unfortunately. So now with all
usual.
of that, apologize.
Yeah, look here,
Not your
Mr.
fault, not your
Doe's
fault.
not to blame here, everybody. All right.
Yeah, of course not.
Don't
Yeah,
be
don't-
mad
yeah,
at
don't make it
Mr.
seem like we're
fucking
attacking
Doe. Be mad at
Yeah, yeah, we're
Paige
not.
Green and the Department of Justice that think putting you
Yes.
in the line of
Amen.
fire is a
Yes.
good idea.
How dare they?
Yes,
He's
don't shoot
just
the
a
messenger.
messenger.
Remember,
He's
they
the
ride to
messenger.
the courthouse in their
Let us
Mercedes while
drown
you drive around in
poachers.
trash cans. Okay, never forget.
I will never forget.
They went harder on Dante than Boss.
True.
No one cares
Makes no
about Dante.
sense.
Okay, Mac.
I didn't like that.
Redirect
It pissed me
energy.
off.
For this. You've already got
It's
everything together.
bullshit.
You just need to pull the trigger on the next time he does it.
Yes, that's basically it. Now with the, well, let's make it simple. With everything you said, from all the feedback right here, if you catch him again, then you are free to put him on a hold, investigative hold,
No, make me.
as you see it fit. If there's any problems with anything that judges or DA Green said, I will try to explain the situation.
Right.
So
Oh.
if you feel like it will make it safer for you, then please go ahead with the best solution.
I think if we do
Um,
investigative hold, it'll give him enough punishment enough to like not think that something's going on, and it won't
Mhm.
it won't make him think it's okay to do it again. So if we can do investigative hold for 24 hours, then let's fucking do it.
And if he gets held
Yeah.
for longer, he gets held for longer, and the case is good to go.
I have a question.
Yeah.
If he is being sent for investigative holds, do you want the DOC to forward any reports of him acting out in prison as well?
It's a bit.
Fuck it,
I
why
guess
not?
I'll just talk with you after this
Alright.
meeting, since it's something that we haven't really thought about. You know, it was basically this that. I expected this, let's say, meeting to go a little bit different with, you know, everything we had in mind. But now with all the feedback we received, we haven't really thought about it. So we'll just speak after the meeting. It will be easier.
Okay. This I want to make it clear. We're not like mad at you specifically, and like Kyle said, like it's not you. It's, you know, it's
We're here
the
to
whole
work
process in
with you
general.
guys. We're just not here to be your pawns for some arrest game. We bring you guys, we
True.
bring people in, and I mean, as far as I know about Coop's Law, it's all around pattern. Like it's around the big picture. Like the major pressing
Yeah.
points for Coop's Law is the past incidences of violence against officers or violence in general, whatever the acting district attorney deems fit in that time frame. But
Yeah,
I'm not trying to
change
I don't
don't
know.
think so.
Has it changed or is it still the same?
because it seems weird that this is the one time where we have to like let somebody go to prove it. We've never had to do this before.
Well, it was.
Literally just say that it's so old that they need this.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think it's
they just said they need to reset it. Yeah.
Change
Oh,
due
okay.
to modern interpretation.
Agreed.
10-4.
But the only thing
Yeah,
I
so-
disagree with, look here, I'll be honest with you, I don't
we
give
just
a
not
fuck.
Be proactive.
I do not give a single fuck who goes in for what, how long so-and-so gets hold for. I don't give a shit. I'll send them there myself. But what I do give a fuck about is when I'm being told that me and my people are expendable enough to send into the line of fire in order to get a conviction in a courtroom setting.
Nodders.
True.
Very true, Sheriff.
My
And that's
man.
why
I will
you're a
not be
sheriff.
sacrificed.
That's my sheriff.
That's not my sheriff. But
He's my
good
sheriff.
guy.
He is your sheriff.
No.
Yes.
Technically, he is.
No.
Give me
Okay,
a
so to
megaphone,
wrap
you
it up-
cock.
So to wrap it up, sir, just
Give
to be
all of
clear on everything-
BCSO a megaphone.
Just to be clear on everything, if we find this guy attempting, or these guys, Mike Block or Jean Paul, to be attempting murder on LEOs, shooting at cops, whatever, we get everything written up. We write down all the charges that he would get, and then to put him in for investigative hold. Don't click process. Send over the paperwork to the Department of Justice, and then you guys take it from there.
Yes. With everything we talked about, that seems to be the best option. Yeah.
Okay, and is it some sort of secret to these guys? Do we want to be like investigative hold? I can't tell you anything further, or is it perfectly?
We don't need to tell them
Okay.
shit anyway. Fuck them.
Right, right. I'm just getting the perspective from the DA's office. How they feel about the information.
Well, as I mentioned before, the feedback today, I thought DA Green told me to basically, whenever they're apprehended, to say that the criminal case is coming. But now, if they're sending on an investigative hold, I don't feel like there's any, let's say, reason to let them know.
Okay.
Basically, whatever you see
investigation.
fit, whatever you think is the best, since the perspective provided already helped. So I think at this point you will, when you apprehend them, you will know what to do best. And after that,
You guys are
we'll just
listen. You guys are
take it for the court
missing
case.
the big picture
Yes, sir.
here. All right.
All right. So yeah, that's basically it.
But I do
Again,
think that it
apologize
should
for the
apply.
previous,
I believe Coop's
let's
Law is
say,
outdated for the server
miscommunication.
setting,
Next time I'll try to get the PD's perspective.
but I think it'll
before,
help get the meta
I
in
come
check
forth.
again.
And
It
as I
needs
said,
to be
hopefully,
redone.
this
and
will go well, and yeah, thank you again.
it's
for your
like when
feedback.
people try to push
Thank
force.
you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Doe. All right, this meeting ran a little long. Every